Is Andor boring or brilliant? The Star Wars fan base is divided. That is nothing new. That is literally anytime any Star Wars product comes out, it divides fans. Some like it, some love it, some hate it, some want to burn the entire world down because they're upset about this fake universe not going their way. With Andor, at least everyone can agree that it is slow. Now, some people think that's a good thing, some people think it's a bad thing, and I'm one of the people that really am enjoying this show. I love it so far. I love the slow burn. It allows for more detail. We're going to get into that tonight, talking about that. In our news article, Natalie Portman played 2 different Star Wars characters. I bet you didn't know that. And in our game segment, we're going to be playing Star Wars 20 Questions. You guys can play along in the chat, and it's just going to be a fun night. So, welcome to Coffee on Korriban. Welcome back to the show, as I'm here with you every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Again, subject to change because I have 2 very young padawans. But tonight, like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about Andor. We all know it's slow. It's a slow burn. Now, some people say it's slow, therefore it's boring. Other people say it's slow, therefore we can't appreciate the details and we get much more information than we would have normally. We're going to talk about all of that, but let's say hello to the people in the chat. Looks like we got quite a few people in here. Starting all the way at the top, we got FatherTime. Here's a sip for you. Aussie Star Wars Nerd. Here's a sip for you. Don. Here's a sip for you. Charlie. Here's a sip for you. Matcave. Here's a sip for you. Sus T. Here's a sip for you. Israel Garcia. Here's a sip for you. Who else we got? Is that it? Nek Badesh. Here's a sip for you. KG, here's a sip for you. All right. We're all caught up. Oh, Star Wars Ladage, here's a sip for you. Okay. My goodness, that is a lot of people. All right. Well, before I bring in my guest, let's get to our quote or comment of the week. If I can find which one that is. I don't think I can. I think it was this one. And this is talking about the technology progression in Star Wars, the video I did last week. He says, I've often pondered this because every time a scientist talks about us being visited by aliens, inevitably they'll conclude the line, and they'll be millions of years more technologically advanced than we are. Why do we assume that? Who's to say that their tech isn't right on par with ours, but they figured out how to fuse atoms right after they figured out splitting them? This led them down a path where power production was easy and safe, so they focused on propulsion, yada yada. They go exploring and are only a couple hundred years ahead of us. Very excellent point. That's the kind of thinking I like on this channel. I'm going to bring in my 2 guests right now so we can get into this discussion. I always love having this guy on. It's so good.
Oh, it is so good. That's not where it's really good.
Welcome, FatherTime.
Hello.
Glad How are you liking here. Andor so far?
I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. So it's not too slow. I can appreciate the slow pieces because, like you said, that's where the details really shine. I'm not scrambling. And when they take one episode and throw in a TIE fighter, and you know how much terror is going through their minds over one TIE fighter?
One single TIE fighter. Where normally
not even looking at them.
Swarm. Yeah. Normally we'd see a swarm and we'd be like, oh man, the Empire's coming. But now we're like, oh, the Empire's coming, and it's just one.
Yeah, it's not just feeding me information. It's me being able to extrapolate what they're showing me.
Absorb it as well. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, let's bring in our second guest. I don't even know what this is.
It calls to you.
Hello there. I love that clip so much. So, initial thoughts on Andor.
I'm with you both. I like the slow burn. I think that the attention to detail is unlike we've seen in any of the Star Wars series so far. I think that even includes Mandalorian, and I love the Mandalorian. But this show's going for the deep cuts, and I love it.
Yeah,
I
and
love the Mandalorian.
and we'll get into this a little bit later, but we were talking Father Time earlier about how this is for the more high IQ Star Wars fan that doesn't just get satisfied by explosions and blasters and generic action, but that really wants to appreciate a well thought out story. Um, I definitely think that it's delivering on that. Now, whether that's going to appeal to a large enough audience to sustain that for future Star Wars projects, I don't know. But as of right now, it's working, in my opinion. That's definitely how I feel. Legendary Tron, here's a sip for you. Always good to have you in here.
It is so far from a speeder gang going down a street at 2 miles an hour in his chase.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. Think back. And this is the part that hurts me the most about this show is I'll look back at Kenobi, at Book of Boba Fett, even at The Mandalorian, and I'll think that just seems like a kid's show in comparison. It just doesn't even seem the same in the same
It is
league.
because what do the kids want? They want action and boom boom, and
Mhm.
that's their ability to handle it. That's great for them.
Right. And the parts that do require more thinking, the more nerdy parts of it are like references to Mandalore the Ultimate or, Pre-Vizsla, that sort of stuff. But even then, it's more fan servicey than Andor is giving us. Andor is giving us just like real legitimate gritty details that takes effort to actually appreciate. You have to put in work with this show.
Yeah, it takes a level of patience with this one, which is, you know what it is? It's the show is different, and that's a good thing. But in all of history of mankind, one of the things that most people share in common is that we have a hard time with change. And when you take something that has followed a certain formula for so long, even the Disney formula of Star Wars, this is taking a different direction. We're going into territory that's more like watching a Bond film or more like watching, well, The Bourne Identity, because, we have the writers from there. And I'll give you an example is that my son, he's 10, and he was jumping all over like Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, stuff like that. And he's like, oh, I can't wait to watch it. And he wanted to watch it the very next day and the whole deal. He's still struggling to catch up, only 5 episodes in to Andor. And he's like, I'll get to it eventually. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, I got to watch this like right away.
And I will admit that even in editing my reactions, there's not as much urgency of like, this is so mind-blowing, I gotta edit this and get it out there. I'm not as crazy about it, but it's more satisfying. This is the meat and potatoes of what we wanted out of Star Wars rather than just the fancy desserts that make us feel good.
I think a lot of it goes to the expectation going into it. Like when your expectation for Boba Fett is that you're going to have episodes of Boba Fett and not 3 that skip him and bring in Mandalorian, where you could be like, what happened here? And you're disappointed. A lot of those expectations may or may not get met. And I think that'll carry through the series.
Yeah. Speaking of Legendary Tron, I put his link in the chat right now. If you guys want to go and support his channel, I would greatly appreciate that. So go ahead and do that. And I'll share Matcave's in a second after I get that all pulled up. Let me go back to my show notes. What are your initial thoughts for episode 5? Because this is the episode I think that really spurred on a lot of those memes that we saw of people falling asleep on the couch with Andor on the TV, that sort of thing. So what did you think about this episode that we just got specifically?
This one, I would say, I don't even have a gripe with it, but I guess my expectation when the 4th episode ended was, all right, now we're going to move on to this mission in episode 5. So that's what I went in.
I wanted that, but I had a feeling we wouldn't get that.
Yeah, it's
right.
It was okay with that.
I'm with you. Like I wanted that, and I was like, okay, that's where we're going. And then we only just made it to the surface by the end of the 5th episode. It was like, okay, now I'm like, all right, 6th episode, we're definitely in. But this 5th one brought in things I wasn't expecting, and I loved it for that. especially the conversation between Cassian and I forget his name, the one that talked about his
Scheme.
past, and they kind of had that reconciliation that was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry sort of deal.
Yeah. Nek Badesh says something right here. It's not just your side quest of the week anymore. This is what I was telling you about earlier, Father Time, is there were a couple episodes of Mandalorian, and especially with the Bad Batch, we got this a lot where, oh, the ship crash lands on a planet. We got to fix it and fight off the aliens. All right, we're good to go. See you next week. I don't get that from this show.
That's Star Trek.
It is Star Trek. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Which has its place.
Yeah, I like
but this
Star Trek.
isn't that. Israel Garcia says, I think we are too used to TV being shock and awe every episode. If you go back to TV 10 or 15 years ago, this format was the norm.
Yep.
I'm loving it.
That's why I said Star Wars
a novel.
or Star Trek. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. And
so for me, my thoughts. There was 3 things that stood out to me in this episode. One, the hologram. Nothing was said, but I got a lot out of that one scene
with Cyril holding the hologram.
Yes. I got a lot out of that scene. Nothing was said. That was great.
Yep.
Number 2, I mentioned it previously, the TIE fighter, and just the raw power that TIE fighter represented, and they were not prepared to deal with that, and could have been eliminated, and it's all over right there. And then the third thing is the utmost respect and authority that their insider friend shows while he's on base, and those people do whatever he says. And that was pretty huge. I mean, he just says it and they have to do it.
Right.
Oh,
well, we're getting an inside. Yeah, Gorn. We're getting an inside look at how the Empire works in the very extremities of its reach in the galaxy. With the Morlana Corps, the security forces, that's an extension of the Empire. With this base on Aldhani, we get to see just what workers do for the Empire, not just people in stormtrooper outfits. And I think that's really interesting. Again, if you're looking to get that stuff out of it, it's there. If you're wanting action, I mean, wait for Mando season 3. That's really all I can say. You saw my video I posted earlier. Yeah, this show could be 4 movies. It legitimately could, with each episode being between 30 and 40 minutes of actual screen time. That comes out to the equivalent of, I think, 3 decent length movies, like 3 2-hour movies.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
This is playing like a movie. It's not the episodic formula where it's you kind of reach a goal and then we wait for next week. This is you're waiting to get that next moment next week. So I think that's the other thing that throws people off a lot from it, is that Star Wars began and it honestly, in my opinion, belongs on the big screen, and I miss going to the movies for Star Wars.
But this is as close as we've gotten since Rise of Skywalker.
And actually, I will say this: I was like, the 5th episode was the first episode of the series that I actually sat down at my system, my theater system, put it up on the big screen, turned off the lights, grabbed a snack. I was like, I'm going into Star Wars, and I was happy as could be.
Yeah. And Ozzy says something right here. We haven't had a single blaster shot in 2 episodes, but I've still really enjoyed the show. That I didn't even think about that. And to some people, that's a detriment. That's not a good thing if there's not blaster shots, because Star Wars is blasters and lightsabers and the Force. But it doesn't have to be. There's a huge galaxy out there.
There was a lot of buildup in the Rebels and the Empire that led up to those giant, fantastic battles.
And this is what I was going back and forth with a commenter on one of my videos a couple days ago, saying, like, it's gonna be slow. This is the start of the rebellion. This isn't the Battle of Hoth yet. There is no all-out war here. This is covert operations, stealing little bits and pieces, taking out this little communication tower, stealing the payroll. This is little tiny bits and pieces. Of course, it's going to be slow. We are going to get the action. We saw that in the trailer.
Yeah,
we're going to get the action. So enjoy the buildup and the detail. And in the video I just posted earlier today, I said, the more high-minded Star Wars fans are going to enjoy seeing the Empire Crunch cereal with the blue milk scene, because it gives you bits and pieces about Cyril's childhood. Maybe his mom was abusive. Maybe she desired perfection out of him, and he was never able to fully achieve that. And the little bits and pieces that add to his motivation, culminating in what you said, FatherTime, him holding the hologram. Now we don't know where he's going.
Yeah, he can go a couple different directions with that.
Is he going to join the rebels? Is he going to go full bore into the Empire? Is he going to start his own mission? We don't know. We have no
And they don't
idea.
need to tell me. I'll just wait.
Right. All right. What was I going to do next? Let me check my notes. Any other standout moments from this episode?
Yeah, for me it was those three.
Yeah.
One thing that I really enjoyed was at the very end, Luthen is standing by the receiver, waiting for word of the mission that isn't even going to take place until tomorrow. I didn't know he was anxious. I thought he was just the fake collector persona and the I will kill you if you don't do the right thing, battle leader. But to see him stressing about this really shows you the high stakes nature of this. And he kept saying, like, it's going to trace back. I made a mistake. I paid a mercenary. It's going to lead back to us. We're all going to die. That's the rebellion. It's the same as the American Revolutionary War. If anyone gets caught, you and your family are dead.
Yeah. And it's over.
Yeah.
Squash the rebellion.
I like that we got to see him crack a little bit there. It made him human. It showed that he's not just this single dimensional character. It was like, this guy's invested. He understands the stakes that are here. I mean, he was almost ready. He was willing to stop everything when he met with Mom Mothma, and he was like, are the funds going to be here? Are we going to be able to do this? He's like, tell me now, or we gotta scrap this. And I think he would have at that moment. If she would have given a different answer, he would have called this whole thing off to save everyone's life.
Is this payroll money that what we're going to use to fund the rebellion going forward?
I didn't actually think about that. I don't know if they could actually use that money. I feel like the way I took it, they're taking it just for the sake of the Empire not using it.
Just punitive.
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't get it.
Tron says Star Wars has so much more aspects that we haven't seen yet. Yeah, so for people to say this doesn't include the characters that I know, or this isn't about the exact time period that I know, or this doesn't feel like the original trilogy specifically, is pretty narrow-minded. The Star Wars galaxy is way bigger than the three movies that we got in the 80s. Well, 70s and 80s, whatever. But that's a really good point, and I think people need to accept that. Look, if you like the Star Wars world, there's more to it than you know already, and you have to be willing to look into that.
I think it's important to know these series, the ones that they're going to do with Andor, are feeding directly into Rogue One, one of my top two favorite Star Wars movies. If you look at Rogue One, there's a lot of dry in Rogue One, but it's my top two. It's up there.
Because it's real.
There are action scenes. There's huge battles, but there's a lot of dry, but it's part of the story, and I love it.
Yeah, there's some really slow parts in Rogue One.
Yep.
But it makes it feel more authentic and genuine. So when you get to the action sequences, when you get to the action sequences, you're involved.
It's a payoff.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, it's slow, but it's going to pay off. But some people are like, well, it better be a action scene that's worth it. It's like, no, that's not the point. We want you to be invested with these characters. So when there is an action scene and someone dies or sacrifices themselves, it hurts. There's impact to it. That's the payoff, not just a big crazy action scene that we're waiting 5 slow episodes to get to. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Isaac, I think he's a new subscriber, so welcome to Korriban. I appreciate you being here. He says, I'll be honest, I couldn't care less about the blue milk, but the passive-aggressive sparring between Karn and his mother, I'm here for that.
Oh yeah, that was
funny.
Yeah, that was bad.
but again, adding to the realism. that's a real conversation. It didn't feel like a scripted. It felt genuine, which was nice. And someone commented, I think maybe in response to that or a comment that he made on my video, like Karn was just laying up awake at night trying to think of comebacks to his mom that he didn't think of earlier. Yeah, didn't realize how stressed he was until his second watch. He was not comfortable.
No, not at all. You could see it in his eyes. He was just, there's so much to his character. And I'll tell you, with him, I feel like he could go to either side. He could become an incredible Imperial officer, or I could see him joining the rebellion.
Oh, yeah. Either one. And being extreme on either side.
Yes.
I'm just glad that he's being used in some way and being set up to be used in a major way, because he was my favorite character until we met Luthen. So I'm really glad for that. I'm so glad we aren't getting heaps of cameos. It makes the galaxy feel as big as my backyard when we get a cameo in every episode.
Yeah.
Yep. Ooh, here's a good question. Are credits tracked in any way?
That's what I'm wondering, and that's a great question, because that's why I feel like I don't know what it is, and I don't really have anything to back this thought. I just feel like that money in particular, I don't think they could use it without being caught. Like, to me, my takeaway from all of that was, let's just sabotage this entire sector for the Empire. It's going to hurt them. How long did they say that payroll was supposed to cover?
A quarter for an entire sector.
Yeah. So they're doing some damage just taking that away from them.
Yeah, we never covered money laundering. We
could get like a Goodfellas style Star Wars show somewhere down the line.
I mean, we know that there are essentially the mafia and drug cartels in Star Wars. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Any final thoughts? They may be able
to launder it through those types of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're going through the pikes.
I'll give you 50 cents on the dollar and I'll take care of it.
I'm pretty sure there are ways around that. But it is time right now for news from the stars.
From the farthest corners of the galaxy and every channel on the holonet, we bring you news from the stars.
Okay, bear with me. These are all out of order. But there's an article that popped up, and I thought, I didn't know about that. So this is from Screen Rant. So massive salt lamp to be taken with this article. But the other Star Wars character Natalie Portman played, besides Padme, by Marcelo de Souza Silverio Leite. That is not fair. You get 2 names. First name, last name. Okay? Got it? Got it, people?
Oh, boy.
Okay. All right. So Marcelo Leite. Natalie Portman played Padme Amidala in 3 Star Wars prequels films, but she also briefly played another Star Wars character in Episode 2. Were either of you guys aware of this?
No.
Everyone in chat, were you guys aware of this? Because that's the headline I saw, and I thought I have to look into that, because I didn't know Natalie Portman was another character. So everyone let me know in chat, were you guys aware of this? And also, Mart the Slang. Here's a sip for you. Welcome. Andor is the best Star Wars we had in years. The Empire was a well-oiled machine. It's exciting. Yes. It's very nice to see the different tentacles of the Empire and how they operate on a personal level instead of just the Death Star, the Stormtroopers. So it's really nice to see those gaps in between. Oh, one of the people in chat is on to something. And I'll tell you what, he knows his stuff. I don't call him my best commenter for a reason. So let's get into this article. They're all out of order, but we'll see if I can get the right one. Where is it? One of the main stars of the prequel trilogy, Natalie Portman, technically played 2 Star Wars characters years before becoming an Oscar-winning actress and one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Natalie Portman had a breakout role in Star Wars episode, The Phantom Menace, in which she played Padme Amidala. Natalie Portman returned for Star Wars Episode 2 and Episode 3, the former of which saw Portman playing 2 different characters. Very interesting. I had to read more. Towards the end of The Phantom Menace, it was revealed that Padme would often switch places with her handmaidens to guarantee the Queen's protection. All of the key Padme handmaidens were played by actors who resembled Natalie Portman in some way. However, in Attack of the Clones, Natalie Portman herself played one of Padme's handmaidens, Corday. Attack of the Clones opens with an attempt on Padme's life, yet it was actually Corday pretending to be the now Senator of Naboo who was caught by explosion. In order to sell the idea that this Padme decoy resembled the former queen a lot, George Lucas simply had Natalie Portman herself play Corday, while the handmaiden would walk out of the ship. After the ship exploded, Corday was played by Veronica Segura during the character's final moments. So,
Didn't we already know that?
that's the whole point of this segment.
It's her
So
walking
Israel
down
got
the
it.
ramp.
Yes.
Oh,
So basically,
yeah.
she played her own decoy, which is pretty much just the same person. So thanks a lot, Screen Rant. But Israel got it. So congratulations to Israel. This has been News from the Stars.
From the farthest corners of the galaxy and every channel in the holonet, we bring you News from the Stars.
There we go.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about, I know, very, very anticlimactic.
Oh, I like that.
Pretty
That was kind of cool.
All right. So next question I have that I want to talk about. Is this show slow? And if so, is that a bad thing? The obvious answer is yes. It is.
Yeah,
slow.
yeah. But I think you're onto something. And everybody keeps talking about it. There's the three series or the 3 episode chunks where it's like this is what's going to happen, and then the slow one, and then the build up on the third, or the payoff on the third.
Yeah, Sir Marshall says, sounds pretentious, but I genuinely can't imagine being a fan of this lore and mythology and thinking Andor is boring. Yeah,
Being slow and boring is 2 different things.
Yeah,
that's
two different things.
exactly my point with this entire stream. Is it slow? Yes. Is it boring? It depends on what you want out of the show.
Yeah. The other thing about this show that I actually wasn't expecting this. When this got announced and I saw the trailer and everything for it, I was like, okay, this is going to be similar to Rogue One, where it's bring in a lot of new fans, a lot of new audience members, like bring it in to really just kind of make it for everyone. But personally, I feel like this is not a for everyone bring in new audience show. This is like deep cut after deep cut for hardcore fans.
Mhm.
And the reason I say this is because when I sat down and watched the show with my wife, and she's familiar with Star Wars, she knows Star Wars because, well, she's married to me and she's not going to have a choice at that point. But she gave it a chance. And when we got to the end of the 3 episodes, the premiere, she looked at me and she's like, I am so lost. She's like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know who anyone is, and I don't know where this is going. So I actually then watched the 4th episode without her first and saw the pace pick up. Like the 4th episode had kind of clear direction. So I was like, okay, come give this one a shot. And she enjoyed it a lot more, but still was like, I don't know about this.
That's another comment that I was receiving a few of on one of my last videos was, it's confusing. I don't know what's going on. I'm so lost. It's boring. It's slow, and all that stuff. And I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can say to those people.
Well,
And-
there could be this. Well, they dumped 3 episodes for a reason. And if you watched them one at a time, very far apart, because you didn't want to sit down and watch all 3, you could be very lost on what's going on. And you wouldn't have the same feeling as if you go 1, 2, 3, and you're like, I'm in.
Which is why I'm sold on the idea that they're doing 4 arcs of 3 episodes.
Yeah.
They got the setup, the tension builder, and the payoff. And they repeat
sense.
that. And that keeps it from getting boring. And as we said, the quest of the week, ship crash lands, fix it, take off. Because 12 episodes is a lot for a show like this. When the episodes are 30, 40 minutes of actual screen time each, that's a lot. And so if you don't break it up with, mini finales every couple episodes, it's gonna get long. Christopher DeJong, I think this is my first time seeing you here, but good to see you. Here's a sip for you. What do you guys think? Will we see Palpatine in Andor?
I think a hologram at least.
I was going to say we'll probably hear of him or a reference to him or something like that. I don't know if he'll be on screen.
It's very possible we see something from him in the Senate chamber, which would be very interesting. Because the last time we saw him in there was the Republic will be reorganized, and so that'd be really cool to see him back in the Senate chamber. That'd be really cool.
Senate changer, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Changed a lot.
If you guys can't tell, I've got a lot of congestion and it's really hard to talk. So I'm sorry, guys. All right. Let's see.
But that's not where it's really.
This universe is so much bigger than Jedi and Sith. It's nice to see the history and building blocks of the Empire. Yeah.
Yay.
Yep. I completely agree. So is this show slow? I think we can all agree yes. Is it a bad thing? It lets us have more detail. It lets us dig into those character developments because if there was more,
I'm going to add one more to my 3 takeaways.
Hold it. I love that name. I love it. I love it. I don't know if it's intentional, but Smooth Move, isn't that like a diarrhea drink, like a laxative drink? I think there's a laxative drink called Smooth Move. If so,
I have nothing to say on that.
Well, here's a sip for you. People do not realize how good the dialogue actually is, and so they're not paying attention to it. I like to compare it to Game of Thrones on how the dialogue has been driving the show. It's very dialogue heavy.
I turned the subtitles on actually because they kept
I leave them on.
Little Easter eggs in the dialogue, and I'm like, wait, did they just say what I think they said?
Like the Ricotta Empire? Like the Ricotta Empire in episode 4.
Oh, that moment.
That made me so happy.
Mentioned that, and then all my KOTOR flags went up. I was like, okay, where are we going?
Oh, we didn't get to see the dinner. Yeah, I wanted to see the dinner. There was supposed to be some great interactions. I was waiting for some great interactions at that dinner. Okay, so for my 4th thing, got to go for my 4th thing.
All right, go for your 4th thing.
My 4th thing. Each rebel kind of has their own reason for being on the rebel side.
Mm-hmm.
And they're banding together. And it's good to see that instead of everyone on Hoth just marching towards a big battle.
Yeah, think back, and I think the Rebel Alliance is most similar to the American Revolutionary War. How did that start? So a bunch of people didn't want to pay taxes, and the British Empire was overreaching and arresting people for dissenting and all that stuff, and so they banded together. One person was a blacksmith, the other person was a farmer and stuff, but they all realized like, hey, we have a common goal and we got to do something about this. And I feel like that's the same thing with the Rebel Empire or Rebel Alliance. They're all just coming together because they realize, okay, we have to do something. We have to start moving the pieces in order to make a change in the galaxy. And we're seeing the start of that.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be slow. As I said earlier in the show, of course it's going to be slow.
Andor didn't even know why he's there other than he's getting paid.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, like originally it was posed to him, hey, you want to do something great? Let's do this. And he's like, I don't care about doing something great. So he's not there for doing something great.
Yeah. And on the subject of the dialogue, Sir Marshall says the show has given us some all-time classic Star Wars lines already. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. Everyone has their own rebellion. There's more that I can't think of that are. What was the one in episode 2 or 3 that Cyril Karn said to his men during his pep talk?
Oh yeah, you did a video on that.
Yeah, I did a video on it. It was there comes a time when the risk of doing nothing becomes the greatest risk of all. That's an amazing line.
Yeah.
There's so much insight into that. And the delivery was pretty poor. But still the message intentionally, yes, but the message behind it is excellent.
Because I could imagine some people could construe that as bad acting. No, that was what they wanted.
Yeah.
to
Oh
I
yeah,
think he
wooden.
was
What did
spot on.
what did Sledge Hate say? It was wooden
do.
characters.
Yeah,
I was gonna try to invite that guy on as a
that's
guest,
funny.
but I couldn't find an email for him. He's too shrouded in mystery.
Mhm.
Yep. But the U.S. Revolution did not intend to destroy the British Empire; just wanted to kick them out of here. But cool comparison. Yeah, that is the difference, because the rebellion obviously wants to stop them from their overreaching control of the galaxy, which in real life terms would be going back to Britain, England, and stopping them from doing any of that. So definitely, Isaac says, Andor isn't just about the formation of the rebellion. It seems also about the formation of the Empire's anti-rebellion effort. Yeah, that's an excellent point as well, because we keep seeing I don't remember the names. Again, 200 named characters in this series. That's a lot. The general guy that's above Dedra, the older guy, where he was
he's
saying,
pretty
like,
intimidating.
yeah, he basically says, like, all you have is bits and pieces. We don't go off bits and pieces. We go off cold hard facts, and unless you have that, there is no rebellion. There is no rebellion happening until you can prove it. We're not going to go chasing rabbit trails until you have something more real. So that's the Empire's just getting started on combating the Rebel Alliance, and they're going to get caught off guard. Do we think the core guy will become an Imperial officer? That's the question. Is he going to go full bore with the Empire? Is he going to do his own revenge crusade? Or is he going to defect and go to the rebellion? Or go to the rebellion while still remaining and enlisting as an imp? That's a very good question. Very good character. What was my next thing? All right. Kind of touched on this already. Is this show boring, or is it just really detailed?
I think the level of detail is, I think there's so much detail, but yet a lot of it is subtle. Like there's certain things that are either just like right out in front, or everything is in the background and unspoken. Like just being in Luthen's place, in his shop, and all of the Easter eggs that were all over there. To general audiences, they're not recognizing anything. But us, we're looking at everything in the background of that scene, finding holocrons, and we're finding, Sith armor. We're finding all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, Coffee, you wanted to just sit around and walk through that shop for hours.
Yeah. Even the hallways leading up to the mom's apartment, it's just like the like lower levels of Coruscant. Just let me walk around. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's the feeling of Star Wars to me. Sir Marshall says he's a new subscriber. Thanks for having me. You guys were fun. Have fun with the rest of the discussion. May the Force be with you. Well, may the stash be with you. Thank you very much for subscribing. One of many new subscribers. We've had a big bump, in case you guys haven't noticed the subscriber count. I don't know how that happened. I'm very happy about it. Yeah. Yes. That's so exciting. Next week, and I'll mention this. Next week, we are going to have our 1,000 subscriber celebration stream. We are going to do a giveaway. And I'm thinking that the grand prize for the giveaway will be a painting just like this one I have behind me. If I can grab that real quick.
You should do it at different levels of viewers. If you've got 50 people viewing your live stream, then it's the painting. If you've got 20, so it'll be different levels based on
Yeah, well, I'm gonna paint another one, and then that'll be the giveaway for the subscriber stream. That'll be next Monday that we do that. Make sure you're subscribed.
Get on board.
That's so cool.
Get on board. So, if you want to win a painting like that, I might do Captain Rex. I might do a Gonk droid, something like that. I'll put a poll up, and we'll figure out what people want a painting of. But that'll be the giveaway, or at least the grand prize. I might give away a mug and a shirt and whatever else. It's the polls. Yeah, the polls are going crazy.
I love those.
If you haven't seen my polls, they're getting hundreds and like 1,000 votes on my polls in the community tab. It's ridiculous. So yeah, it was like 800 something like 48 hours ago. And then I was just celebrating, like, yes, finally hit 900. And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, guys,
It kept
Guys?
going.
I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing. What? It's the red arrows, honestly. It's just the red arrows. So, but yeah, if you want to win that, make sure you're here next Monday. We're going to be doing the 1,000 subscriber celebration stream. Hopefully my voice won't sound as bad, and we'll give away a painting. Oh, he's got the mug. Look at it. Oh, just look at it.
Mine's
Just
in
look
the
at
other
it.
room.
Oh, you see that mug, everyone?
It calls to you.
Oh boy.
I love that clip. All right. Well, I think it's the time in the show where we're going to play our game. Let me, Neck Bodesh, if you're still in chat, do you want to join to play the game? Because I know I had an invite out to you. So let me know if you want to join and I'll send you the link. But we are going to play now Star Wars 20 Questions.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That is funny.
So that's an inside joke between me and Matcave. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
And basically, to explain that quickly, it is the worst voice actor for Obi-Wan in the Xbox Obi-Wan video game. I can't make out their species, Master. I'm not sure.
That game.
So-
game.
Yeah, there's a whole story behind that. We'll talk about that at some point in the future. But anyway, this is Star Wars 20 Questions. You guys all know how 20 Questions goes. All right, let me send the invite to Neck real quick. We'll get him in here. I know he wanted to join. But we're going to play 20 questions. You guys know how 20 questions works. The way we are going to play this right now is we are each going to have a Star Wars character that we have in mind. And we're going to play 20 questions. And
Ray.
yes, exactly.
I'm just kidding. Do I yell it out or what?
20
There it
credits
is.
to you. There you go. Ta-da! But we, the panel, are going to try to guess what the character is. And you can guess, just throw out names and guess as many times as you want. People in chat can comment too. And if anyone in there gets it as well, let me
You get
know.
20 credits.
And 20 credits to your
Imperial credits.
Imperial credit score. So let's take a few minutes while we're waiting for Neck to get in here, and let's think about what character we want. Don't make it something obvious like Luke Skywalker, because obviously 20 questions is going to get it. But yeah, just think of a character. It can be somewhat obscure. And Neck Badesh, good to see you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Is your mic muted?
Hello there.
All right, we're gonna have to go off.
It's a little low, but I think I can hear you.
Great. I'll scoot in maybe.
All right. It sounds like it might be off your webcam, the audio. You might be able to change the settings and go to your headset. But welcome. You probably already know my only rule is no profanity. That's pretty easy to follow because I have family and my grandma watches this. So, all right. So we're gonna play 20 questions. Think of your character. Matcave, you got yours?
I don't even know where you are anymore. My window just is missing here.
What are you talking about? All right.
Oh, there it is. I have too many tabs. I have like
I
300
don't know what's going
tabs. I'm good.
Seriously, I've seen his phone with all the open apps at the same time on his phone. He never closes apps.
My computer
bad.
is worse.
It's really bad. All right. So Matcave, you got your character?
I do.
Okay, you're gonna go first. So you're gonna tell me if this is how we're gonna do this. Oh, what happened? Did I kill it?
It got bigger.
Hold up.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Okay, hold up.
What happened? I'm not sure.
I added it into a new. Can you still see it?
Yeah,
we see it.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, that's weird. All right. Is it a being, location, or technology? Obviously, it's a being.
It's a being.
Matcave, are they known for destroying things?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay. Yes. Is it a
You
species?
gotta clip just that. I'm not sure. So I go down to like a 3-second one.
I know, seriously.
Sure.
Is it a species?
Of course.
Are they usually unarmed?
No.
Ooh, okay. So it's an armed person. Do they have sharp teeth?
I'm not sure.
Can they speak basic?
Yes.
What does
Are
that
they
mean?
part of the Confederacy of Independent Systems?
No.
Are they male?
Yes.
Could they be a hero?
Yes.
Did they die during the Clone Wars?
No.
Are they a pilot?
Yes.
Do they have pale skin?
No.
Was that a yes?
No.
Okay. Are they a villain?
Sometimes.
Are they part of the Imperial military?
No.
Are they diplomatic?
Sometimes.
Is it Clovis?
No.
Do they cover their head?
Yes.
Do they cover their face?
No.
Is it Dengar?
Is it Dengar? No.
Okay.
I'm not
I am
sure.
guessing it is Hondo Onaka.
Yes.
Is it?
It really is.
Bro.
Wow.
Wow, that is impressive.
That's insane.
In only 17 questions.
He's one of my all-time favorite side characters in the entire Star Wars galaxy.
That's crazy. Let's see. Did anyone in chat get it? No, I don't see.
Anakin guesses.
Isaac says, I'm not sure. He hits my brain memories. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I can't believe that
What's your
worked.
problem, Eddie? Yeah, that's very crazy. I remember doing it with my dad a long time ago, and my character was Darth Nihilus,
Mm,
and it got it in like 13 questions. It's crazy.
that's insane.
Anyway, Nek Badesh, can I hear you a little better? Say something.
Hello, hello.
Oh yes, that's great.
Much better. So
Oh,
there's
yes.
a button on the back for mute, and that was hit.
Ah,
So
perfect.
use
Well, I
your
can
error.
hear
It's
you.
all good.
I can hear you.
Don't
great.
admit that on live channel.
All right, Father Time, you
Use
got
your-
yours?
I do.
Okay. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, let me pull it up. It threw it in another window. So, okay, let's play again. It's a being.
Yes.
Is the Force strong with them?
No.
Could they be found in Jabba's palace?
No.
Can they be used in combat?
Yeah.
Are they part of the Rebel Alliance?
It's like a yes, but sometimes, yeah, we'll go yes. We'll say yes.
Okay. Is it Han Solo?
No.
Okay. Is it a structure?
But yeah, see, there we go. No, it's not a structure.
That's weird.
It's a
Have they
being,
met
all
Yoda?
right? No.
Are they human?
Yes.
Were they involved in the Battle of Endor?
No.
Did they repair things?
No.
Did they cover their head?
No. No head coverings.
Have they been trapped?
No.
Are they part of the Resistance? This
Yes.
is sequel trilogy. They're part of the Resistance?
Maybe. Probably.
Okay. Do they use a blaster?
No.
Are they female?
No.
Do they have facial hair?
Yes.
Is it General Dodonna?
No.
Oh.
Wow.
Are they a pilot?
Yes.
Is it Lando?
No.
Is this ship and you guys guests can guess at any time if you have something. Just throw out a name. Is this ship wait a minute. Ship. Is this
It
ship
says a
armed?
pilot. The answer to pilot was yes, and the ship that they're piloting is no. It's not.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay, no, it's not armed.
No.
Is it Biggs Darklighter?
No.
Wow.
I'm stumping.
Did they complete their training?
Yes.
Is it John Vander?
No.
Gold Leader?
No.
Are they known for destroying things?
Yeah. In the end. Yes.
Have they been on Tatooine?
No.
Could they be a hero?
Yes, I guess he is a hero. He made it all work.
Poe Dameron?
No, it's not. No.
Would they seek rewards?
No.
Are they large?
No.
Is it Dak
No.
Peralter?
It's not Dak. He's large.
Is it Wolf Yularen?
No, it's not.
All right, you won.
I won.
Is it any of these? Wedge Antilles, Bail Organa,
down.
Gavin
No,
Darklighter.
keep going down. No, it's not.
All right. Well, I think you win some credits.
You got to
Who was
enter it there. Bodhi
Who
Rook.
was it?
That's who I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Bodhi?
Yeah, Bodhi.
Ah,
B-O-D-H-I. B-O-D-H-I. R-O-O-K.
nice.
I don't know why I can't think of what he looks like.
He's
Remind me who that is.
He's the Imperial
He's the
pilot.
defector, yeah,
Mhm.
in Rogue One.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Got we'll know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
We'll find
Excellent.
truth. Great lines.
One tends to lose one's mind.
Wait,
That's
Israel
me.
guessed that? It said
that's-
somebody said
Israel said Lando. Andor.
That was a good one.
No. Cassian Andor. Ewok. 3PO. Hondo. Nope. No one got it. Very nice. That was expertly done. All right, Nick, you ready for yours?
All good. Let's go.
All right. Let me pull it up and we will get it going.
we got to search. Oh, Bodhi Rook. Yeah, I thought you were going to enter it into their database. But
Oh, I forgot. Okay. Being. Are they tall?
I would say they're like average. So,
So no.
yeah, let's go with no.
Okay. Could they be a hero?
No.
Are they located on Tatooine?
No.
Would they work for money?
Yes.
Is it a structure?
No.
Irrelevant. Were they present at the Battle of Geonosis?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did they aid the Empire?
Yep.
Are they part of the Galactic Empire?
No.
Are they human?
No.
Do they cover their head?
Not really.
No.
No.
Are they known for destroying things?
Yes.
Do they cover their face?
No.
Is it armored?
their face?
Sure.
Is
Yeah,
their face
is the
armor?
face armored or is the
I-
body armored?
I don't know. That's a weird question.
Let's go with yes.
Are they covered in fur?
Nope.
Would they get along with Vader?
Yes.
I am guessing it is Forlom.
Wow.
Good job.
That-
Good job.
Oh man.
That is impressive.
The one who everybody thought was going to be in Kenobi, and then it was not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. I won. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't think of mine. So talk about something while I think of mine real quick.
I have a I have a theory about Andor. We want to hear it?
Yes, please.
I think there's a twist coming, and I was just looking her up. I forgot her name. Is it Deidre, the Imperial officer?
Deidre.
Deidre? I think she's Cassian's sister.
He has a
Just
sister.
with dyed
He has a
hair?
sister. That's right. He's on a mission to find his sister.
That he left
Just with
behind.
dyed hair?
Yeah, with dyed hair. You can see she's not actually blonde. It's all dark underneath. She's got a very similar face structure to the little girl we saw earlier, and she's kind of acting a little funky when it comes to how much she wants to investigate all of this. But it's just, all I have is just a gut feeling. That's all I'm going on with that. That's my theory.
We'll see. We'll find out.
Interesting.
Kinda
She's
like
got to
that.
come in somewhere. She's got to come in to
Yeah.
movie somewhere.
She was too important in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's do this. I got my
Oh,
character.
did you see that Star Wars nerd? Aussie Star Wars nerd?
What did he
See that
say?
comment? The med lady on the team.
Ooh,
Oh,
Kaz?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cinta
So
Kaz.
if you rewatch the scene where she and Cassian first see each other, her eyes and his eyes kind of meet up. He's kind of like looking like, wait a minute, I might know you. There was some weird chemistry in there, and I thought it was maybe like a first time watch thing. Second time I watched it, I saw it again too. So rewatch those scenes
Cinta.
closely. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I got to rewatch.
Very interesting. Check it out. All right, let's see. It's a being. Is the Force strong with them? No. Military organization? No. Are they male? No. Do they cover their head? Yes. Part of the Resistance? No. Were they part of the Old Republic, Galactic Republic? No. Could they be a hero? Yes. Can they be used in combat? Yes. Are they diplomatic? No. Are they a villain? No. Are they a good teacher? No. Are they female? Yes.
Didn't it already ask that?
Yeah. I mean, it's
So the male
2022. Those aren't the only two options these days. Can it be found in the mid-rim? Yes. I think so. Are they part of the Rebel Alliance? No. Do they repair things? Sometimes. Sabine Wren. Wrong. Any of you guys have guesses?
Yeah, the lady that hasn't, I don't know. She wears the goggles. A little short lady.
Maz Kanata?
Maz Kanata?
Yeah.
You mean Matcave?
It calls to you.
Yeah, her.
No, it is not Maz Kanata. That was a good guess, but no, it's not her. All right. We will
You have to
keep
pay for
going.
your pizza, sir.
I got to add that clip in here too. You have to pay for your pizza, sir. Have they been to Tatooine? Yes. Is it Yarna Dal Gargan? No. Dr. Afra? No. Are they human? No. Would they seek rewards? Yes. Is it Vet? No. Could they be found in the Mos Eisley Cantina? No. Is it Mission Vale? Yes. Wow.
Nice.
KOTOR.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very impressive. It took how many questions was that?
That was
25?
22, 23.
Yeah. But still it got it. That's very impressive.
My other option was Cad Bane.
It would have got that so quick.
I know. That's why I didn't.
It would have got that so quick.
nice.
Wear a
But
hat?
you won.
Yeah.
You won. So everyone in the chat give FatherTime some congratulations and
And I got my
you
Imperial
all-
credits.
Yes, your Imperial credits. Congratulations. That was very impressive. But this has been Star Wars 20 Questions.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's so bad.
I love that.
All right, so the last thing I wanted to talk about before we end the stream. Is this a high IQ show? Does this require more effort and more intelligence to appreciate fully?
I don't think you have to have more IQ or higher intelligence. I think you have to look for the story. It just takes effort.
Yeah.
I think it's
And a lot of
patience
people just
and
aren't
effort.
ready to give effort to it. They just want to be entertained.
Yep.
I look at it like, think about the first time watching Fellowship of the Ring. Like, you got to get through Fellowship before you make it to Two Towers. Like, it's just, you got to get the beginning of the story. And Fellowship starts really, really slow. I mean, you
Really
get the
slow.
whole action sequence in the beginning of setting the stage, but once you get to the Shire, it's just kind of, we're walking for a while. But then you get those big payoff moments that happen in the next two films. And I like the way you were saying before, Coffee, about the how it's broken up into arcs, right? So we're in that slower arc, but now we're starting to get into the next point where we're going to pick up the pace.
We better be in an asteroid belt this week. I'm just saying.
Dude, I want space.
It's coming. It's
so
coming.
bad.
It's coming. It's coming.
Higher patience show, yeah, Lord Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And KG says you don't shut your brain off for the show. This is not grab some popcorn, lay back, and scroll through your phone while it's playing on the screen. You can't do that. But that's right up my alley because again, Interstellar, Inception, Tenet, those are like my favorite movies.
Oh, I love
And then,
Tenet.
above all of those is Pride and Prejudice, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But
I still need you to explain Tenet to me. Again.
I've tried.
I know.
I've tried
We'll happily
many
watch that
times.
again.
It's not that bad.
It's
And-
really bad.
Have I told you about my reconvergence theory for that movie?
No. Different video.
I'll tell you later. There's a different stream on a different channel somewhere else on YouTube. But it definitely requires effort to be put into it to appreciate, not to enjoy. You can still enjoy it, but to fully get what the creators intended, you got to put in the work. And I liken that to like jazz fusion music, or prog rock or prog metal, which is a lot of what I listen to is very technical metal. To most people, it can sound like trash because none of the notes line up. It sounds out of tune. It's just like a whole lot of But if you know what you're listening for, it's amazing. There's a lot of bands that, would sound like screamo bands to most people. But if, as a musician, like I'm listening it to pick it apart, and it takes effort. Like I have to be focused on it to actually fully appreciate it. And then I think to myself, like, I know what they're doing there. That's insane. But it's the same thing with this show. If you're willing to, if you know a little bit about it already, and you go into it trying to learn something, you put in that little bit of extra effort, and it will pay off. And so for the people that are willing to do that and actually wanting to use this show to learn stuff about the Star Wars galaxy, it's exactly what they're wanting. But for the people that just want to put something on and be entertained for 30 minutes a week, it's losing them.
Yeah,
So
you have to be in the mood for it. That's another side to it. Like I love shows like this and stories like this, but every once in a while I do want to shut my brain off and just grab some popcorn and be entertained. I mean, it's funny like how now the way I break up my week watching certain shows. We get the Wednesday and it's like, okay, I'm in for this like deep story and find all the details, and I'm going to be really hyper focused to it and just like looking for everything. I get the Thursday and I'm sitting down and watching She-Hulk. It's like,
I'm so sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, no
like,
comment.
like it's a goofy comedy. It doesn't take itself seriously
And
whatsoever. And
that's unfortunately what this show is making. Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi, and to some extent Mandalorian, feel like at this point, retroactively looking back at those ones, it's like, yeah, that was a little marvelly. little more Marvel-y than I'd like. And some people like that, and that's what they're wanting to get out. I think I have some... Oh, did I throw these in or not? I didn't. Dang it. I had some screenshots of a text conversation I had with FatherTime earlier talking about the people that don't like this show or sitting around watching Cartoon Network with Beavis and Butthead shirts on. And I wanted to include those, but I forgot to throw them in before the show. Yeah.
Shirts.
Yep. Yeah, I was totally stereotyping the people that didn't like the show. But there is something to be said for you have to have the right mindset when you're watching this show. Otherwise, yeah, it's slow. And if you're not picking up the details, slow will equate to being boring, which is a very unfortunate thing.
I think part of it, too, is it takes a little bit of buy-in. Because one of my friends basically doesn't want to watch the show because he couldn't care less about Andor. And I'm really not sure how deep into Star Wars lore he is, but I mean, if you don't really care about Andor, but you're still super into Star Wars lore, like you might just need to put the Andor thing behind and get into the show because there's so much stuff. I didn't know I was going to care about seeing Empire Crunch with blue milk this past weekend. It was like one of the coolest things I've seen.
Yes. Yep. You saw my reaction. I was freaking out about it. And so Matcave and I have been talking about this for over a year at this point. Probably right about the time I started my channel is I started telling people, like, look, it's not about Andor. Like, you do realize that, right? This is about the formation of the rebellion and how all the pieces come into play. Andor happens to be the path through that, our little looking glass into that time period. And so it's not about Andor. Andor, I really like as a character, and I'm glad we get to see his character progression.
Yeah, you pick any one of these characters out of this show, and
you could follow any one of them. This could have been a Luthen Rael show. This could have been Vel's show. This could have been a Nemec or Dedra or Mon Mothma or Saw Gerrera show.
Whole show through his sister.
Yeah. Or we could have seen it through or we could have seen it through Tim's eyes, and it would have been like 20 minutes long. Because he's dead.
It's that, and this is a trend that I think is hurting a lot of shows and movies. And I feel like, at least for me, this trend seemed to start back in 2006 with Rocky Balboa. The trend being just name the movie or the show the character. And then all of a sudden, this started to happen more. And now it's everything. Why couldn't this show be called literally anything else? Why does it have to be called Andor? Because like you said, there's so much to this. It's about the formation of the rebellion. This isn't about Cassian Andor. This is about what's happening around him.
And this is what Aussie says. They marketed Andor terribly. The show isn't about Andor. It's about the beginnings of the rebellion and the time when the Empire is in a really dominant position. The reason people aren't watching it is because no one cares about Cassian.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. If they, what else would they have called this? Pretty much anything. The Rebellion show.
Star Wars Rebels. That would be a good one.
Oh, that was taken.
Okay, but also you don't know how people are watching this. You don't like. I sat down and watched 3 episodes. I already said that. But if you sat down with Matcave's popcorn, and you're on your phone and you watch one episode, and then a couple days later you watch another episode the same way, you're not even going to know what's going on. And so who knows how they're watching it?
Yep.
Are they sitting down with the intention of getting stuff out of it? So.
Rebels season -1.
-1, yeah.
Yeah, Andor is the door to the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Marco, I think this is the Star Wars Other Rebels. It's so good.
I love it.
Thanks for the comment. I think this is my first time seeing you here. Here's a sip for you. Welcome. That's really funny. Star Wars Other Rebels.
What are you watching? Other Rebels?
And Friends?
The First Rebels. But that leads me into the last point I wanted to talk about tonight. But before we get into that, actually, some extra special shout-outs that I forgot to mention. Israel Garcia, Dale Erdman, Don Kleiderman, and Aussie Star Wars Nerd. You guys got the keyword of the week, which was Coruscant. Congratulations, you guys. You guys get the extra special shout-out. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end of the video. Really appreciate you guys. But this final point I wanted to talk about, will this hurt Disney's numbers and prevent shows like this in the future? Because that's what I'm worried about with this show. Not that it won't be good, but that the numbers won't be reflected. The numbers won't reflect that. The reviews won't carry that on to back up the line of command to Disney. And they'll think, oh man, that was not what fans want. Let's give them more Marvel stuff. So that's what I'm worried about. What do you guys think about that?
I think the
Potentially,
way
I don't know.
this show picks up is going to change the perception of the show. I feel
Right.
like this is one of those watch it again or watch it when it's all out type shows, and that's going to bring in more people, because I feel like the action is going to pick up. I mean, we haven't seen Saw Gerrera yet. We haven't seen space battles. We haven't seen the rebellion yet.
Right.
So once that happens, I think critics are going to change their views on it, and I think numbers are going to pick up. Because I don't want them to fall back on the Marvel formula. It's two different things. I love Marvel and I love Star Wars, but I don't want to mix them.
Yeah.
And we don't really know like where they're even going to go for the second half of the season, because nothing's really been revealed outside of the trailers. Like, I can't think of a scene that we haven't really already seen yet, and they already have the second season too, which God only knows how that's going to go as far as storyline goes. So maybe it's going to pick up to a crazy spot. Viewer numbers will go up a little bit, but who knows? I guess it all depends.
Yeah.
Really, on
We'll find
what
out.
they end up doing with it.
And everyone in chat, if you guys want to, I would greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe to Aussie Star Wars Nerd. Let's get him up towards 100 subscribers. That would be huge. So please give him some love. I just put his link in the chat. It takes 2 seconds and no money from you. You're not going to spend any credits on this. Just hit subscribe because it.
I have some credits I could spend though.
You
I
could.
won from the game.
But, it doesn't take anything from you other than a couple seconds. But to someone else, it means a whole lot. So go ahead and subscribe to his channel. That would be awesome. A ship with lightsabers on the side?
That's true. That's true.
I think
What?
that's Luthen's ship.
But we haven't
Does
seen
it?
the lightsabers pop out yet.
Yeah. But we know he's got Kyber.
That's true. Awesome. KG subbed. Awesome. Very nice. But that's really the one thing I'm worried about with this show. Because by this point, episode 5, I know that they know what they're doing. If you saw my video that exploded yesterday, all about the writers know what they're doing, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about bad decisions and terrible fight scenes and speeder bike chases and branches stopping people chasing Princess Leia through the forest. I'm not worried about that stuff with this show. But if this doesn't land like it's supposed to and have the impact that the other Disney properties have had, it's going to make its way back up, and Disney is going to say, okay, Star Wars adult, it doesn't mix anymore. They want explosions. They say it's too slow. We're not going to give them this anymore. Can you imagine if they canceled season 2 because of that?
Oh, don't say that.
That would be horrible. That would be horrible. But that would be the one thing I'm worried about for this show. But we'll see. Any other thoughts on that?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I have to have that as its own separate clip.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm glad Mike
That's pretty
came to
funny that you
game
found
just to
that
make
clip.
joy.
All I searched was Xbox Kenobi, I'm not sure, and that video popped up.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
just slapped words on top of it.
Is it a bad game outside of the voice acting? I haven't delved too much into it.
Well, if you want to see the whole game, I played it.
Okay.
We'll just say this. He was stuck for about 30 minutes inside the Trade Federation ship saying, I'm not sure, while Qui-Gon Jinn was saying, hurry, Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Hurry, Obi-Wan. This
Yeah,
way.
you know that iconic moment in the movie where Qui-Gon's supposed to be cutting the door open with the lightsaber? Nope. He decided to play hide and seek.
And he was nowhere to be found in the entire map.
Oh wow.
And then somehow he was like glitched and hiding in the ceiling. How he got up there, I'm not sure.
I was pretty persistent.
Yeah. I think, yeah, we're going to see space battles. We're going to get to all the action. That's a given. We know that this all culminates in the explosion of 2 Death Stars. We know where this all leads, but we don't know how it starts. And the fact that people aren't interested in that. If you call yourself a Star Wars fan and a fan of the mythology, you should be interested in that. And this is going to be a video that I'm going to post once I'm not so congested anymore. But it's about the mythology aspect of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Because if there's another franchise that I really appreciate, it's Lord of the Rings. Because of the realism of the world. And someone had a comment, I should have added it in here, but they were saying, specifically in regards to the Lord of the Rings universe, Tolkien wrote it not as a novel, like here's a cool story, but as like an actual history. These are real places and real people. Look at the detailed maps that he drew and the languages he invented. It was almost like he was discovering it and relaying it to the people. That's how Star Wars has to be, because it's a real history, our real history, but thousands of years ago, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah. That's the most important line in all of Star Wars. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. These are events that actually happened. They're already done with. And in the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, it says that these events have already taken place. There's nothing you can do to change it. It says that in the foreword for the Revenge of the Sith novelization. And so if you treat it like that, you're not going to worry about crazy action scenes. You're not going to worry about producing a show. You're going to be worried about telling the story as it would have happened if this was a real history, which I think is what this show is doing, and what not a lot of people are realizing about this. And if they were really into the mythology and the world building, which is what I'm in it for, of the Star Wars universe, they're going to love this show because it's providing that. It's not skimping out on those details. But if you want the action, I mean, there's a dozen other sci-fi franchises for you to go check out that do give you the action every single second. This isn't Michael Bay.
Shaky cam.
Yeah. That would be my final thought. I don't know if you guys have anything to add on to that before we shut it down for tonight. Final thoughts, everyone.
I'm not sure.
You're way
I don't
too
think
good at
that could be overused. I don't think that could be overused at all. Final thoughts. I'm really hoping you're right about the 3-arc or the 4-arc 3 series thing.
It just seems like the logical way to break up the episodes. 12 was a lot.
Yeah.
I think if they go another week setting up for the invasion, I'll be really sad.
It's not going to happen. I don't.
Yeah, no, they're like
think
right there.
We're diving right in.
I mean, they said tomorrow is the thing. Mm-hmm. Like when the sun comes up or whenever their time is, we're less than 24 hours away. Luthen is waiting by the phone.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's
and
going to happen.
We are too. We're sitting here waiting. Let's go.
Yep.
You know
exactly.
what I'm really looking forward to seeing is that event in the sky they're talking about.
Yep, the crystal asteroid belt thing.
Everyone wants to come see it every year.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic. Nick, what do you got?
I'm thinking, and I've picked this up on a couple different channels, but apparently there are time jumps in this season. So maybe the end of this episode, we go through the whole crazy action sequence of the heist, and then we pick up episode 7 with the time jump after Cassian's kind of gone through this first big experience, and now he's a little bit further into his character. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, like, going forward.
Yeah. Cassian will be an interesting character. He has a character arc because he's different. He's battle hardened, where we see him in Rogue One, which I got to go watch Rogue One again.
I'm so excited to go watch it again.
And then that leads right into the original trilogy.
And then it's a big loop. Here we go.
Can you imagine right now? In these 5 episodes, we've gotten so much detail about the start of the rebellion, how Mothma is integrated into it. We haven't even touched on Saw Gerrera or any of the other rebel factions. Could you imagine after 24 episodes of this Andor series, after season 2, how much we will have filled in the gaps into the start of the rebellion? And if that doesn't excite you enough to say, okay, yeah, it's slow, but it's worth it. And if you're still caught up on this is boring, this is terrible, I don't know what to tell you. I'm loving it. And we're going to get all that information. I'm really excited about that. JT Lovecraft just joined the Discord server the other day, so it's really good to see you here. Thanks for being a part of the community. And everyone, if you would like to be a part of the community, the link for Discord will be in the description. You can join that and, I don't know, message me or something. I don't know. Father Time, you have any other closing thoughts?
No, I'm excited for every week because this is my show, because Rogue One is my movie. So
yep,
nice.
That is true.
Not only is it the same style, literally it's the same story, feeds into it, same characters and everything. So
you're right. And honestly, this is very fun to enjoy this with you. Anyone that doesn't know, Father Time is my dad, so this is really fun.
I'm the actual father.
Yeah, it's really fun to have something like this to connect with your dad on. Which I didn't know nerding out about Star Wars was going to be it, but here we are.
I'm not sure.
So, but it's really good to have this connection with
Star
my
Wars
father.
and Lexuses. There you go.
Oh, it is so good. That's not where it's really good.
Star Wars and Lexuses. That is exactly what we're into.
Yeah.
That's all I drive. That's all I'll ever buy.
You have two. I have two. What are you gonna do?
That's true. That's true. Oh, the power of depreciation. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Just wait a few years and you can get whatever car you want. So that's going to do it for the show tonight. Everyone, I really appreciate you guys all being here. This was very fun. The channel's doing some crazy thit's right now. The algorithm is being very favorable to me, and I think I figured out a method to capitalize on that. But it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. It's a good time to be a member of this community. I'm glad for all of you guys being a part of it. And next Monday, like I said, is going to be our 1,000 subscriber celebration stream, where I'm going to be giving away at least a painting, something like that. We'll find out what the painting will be about, I don't know, sometime during the week. But I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Matcave as well. Let me get your link down in the description. Stay tuned with me. Say something.
The only depressing thing about this stream was the potential that Disney could pull the plug on season 2 or 3. Other than that, I'm so excited for what's to come.
Yeah. And everyone, please go subscribe to Matcave. He's working his way up to 500 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to Matcave, please do that. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're into retro gaming or gaming in general, that's what he does over there. You have anything good coming up?
I got scary things for the month of Shocktober. I will be.
There you are.
Oh, wait.
There you are.
I'm going to be diving into 2 things that are definitely going to make me jump on live streams. And
Outlast.
Yeah, Outlast.
I'm excited for Outlast. It's been a while since I went through that game.
Outlast is one, and I believe I have finally figured out how I am going to stream Resident Evil 7 in VR.
Wow.
So, yeah. I'm going to have to wear my brown pants for that one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I put his link for his channel in the chat there. So if you are not subscribed to Matcave, please do that. I would greatly appreciate that. Other than that, we're going to shut it down for tonight. It's been a great discussion. I'm sorry my voice wasn't exactly how I'd like it to be, but I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Some great Star Wars talk, and I really like this community. And I said in one of the comments on one of the videos earlier, there was a need in the Star Wars community for a rational, philosophical look at the Star Wars content coming out and approaching it from that angle. Why do we like this? Why do we dislike this? What is our reasoning for not accepting this as Star Wars? Why is this working so well in the Star Wars community? Why is there disagreement? I wanted a hard and fast look at that from a philosophical standpoint, finding the deeper reasons why. So that's why I created the channel. Really glad to have all of you guys on here. So thank you very much for watching. If you've been here from the very beginning of the video, I really appreciate your time. May the stash be with you, and I will see you wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.